Thank you so much. We have a bone to pick with you. Did you know that May is National Osteoporosis Month? Bad joke, we know. Osteoporosis is referred to as the silent killer because it often goes undetected until it is too late. So it is really important to talk about your bone health and why it flies under the radar. So joining us this morning is Dr. Patrick Fredenberg from Valley Radiologists to kind of elevate our awareness of what we should be looking for. And I know that you often think of bone health and weakening bones as something that happens much later in life, but oftentimes women will have this much earlier.
Absolutely, yeah. Bone health is something you should consider your entire life.
Okay.
We, like children, have healthy bones through diet, calcium, vitamin D, and your bone mineral density peaks typically of 25 to 30, but then the rest of your life you have this gradual decrease in calcium in your bones throughout the rest of your life. So the things that you can do earlier in life will make a significant difference later in your life for having stronger bones and preventing an osteoporotic fracture.
Okay, so I imagine that diet and continuing with the calcium is key.
Absolutely, and also maintaining an active lifestyle.
Okay.
Because immobility, if you don't use the bones, they tend to lose calcium quicker. So diet and an active lifestyle are probably the two most important things you can do your entire life.
Should people be automatically doing a supplement to address this, whether they know that they have an issue or not?
I'd say initially, if they, in their younger years, if they see their doctor and maybe can do a chemistry profile to see if they have low calcium, and those people may want to do a supplement. However, if other people have enough calcium in their diet, it may not be necessary, but that would be something they would need to address personally with their own physician.
Okay, tell me about the screening for osteoporosis.
The screening process, if there are particular risk factors, particular medicines, or chronic health conditions that you have, you may want to be screened earlier, but typically we start screening in women at 65 and screening in men at 70. It's a very simple process. Patient lays on a table and we scan for about 15 minutes. It's painless. We basically take an x-ray of their hips and their lumbar spine, and then we can very accurately determine the amount of calcium and mineralization remaining in their bones or not.
Okay, and so we're putting up some of the symptoms here, and some of them are obvious. I mean, back pain or that stooped posture, but that's going to be the progression is already going to be pretty far along if you're noticing those types of symptoms, right?
That's what you call it a silent killer, and that's the point is by the time you have the dowager's hump, those are multiple compression fractures that have already occurred. So the point of screening is to address and pick up people before
earlier
that point.
on.
Yeah, and prevent that physical deformity, because that can also lead to issues as well, difficulty breathing, and just a general decrease in their overall health.
So if you get screened a little bit earlier, not wait for those significant symptoms to show. Is family history play a big role in this?
Absolutely. If you have a family history of a mother or an aunt or something like that that had multiple fractures after 50, that should clue somebody to say this person needs to be screened earlier than later.
And what would some of the other indicators be, or how would it come up in conversation maybe in a regular annual exam, say?
Well, if typically in, say, women over 50, if they have a fracture and there wasn't any particular significant trauma, that could be an indication that they have weak bones. And also, it's always important to address with your physician any medications that you're taking that may accelerate your bone loss.
As that could deteriorate them.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming to talk with us about this. Osteoporosis being Awareness Month being this month in May, so maybe talk to your doctor about it and make sure that you're getting the proper nutrition you need to preserve those bones. Thank you so much. We'll head on into Gina. Good morning.